Music is 5-Card Shuffle, copyright Kevin MacLeod. It's the 28th of April 2016 and it's the back end of the month, and by heck it really is cold, and I've managed to plant out half a dozen brassicas. I have a target to achieve in getting the foundations ready for the new porch, and one of the jobs is to strip up the block paving ready to form the concrete base. Saturday morning, 30th of April, I've planted 6 cauliflowers. And in the root bed I sowed some carrots and some beetroot and a row of radishes. It was Sunday and my grandchildren all had things to do except one, the youngest, and he was too young for scout camp, and he decided that he wanted to go to sea life, and so that's where we went, and we had a great day out. It was exciting.
I know, I don't like it, that's why I don't like it.
After making the raised bed out of pallets, I ended up with a lot of timber bearers which are just getting in the way, and I've got an idea for them, but the only trouble was when I made the raised bed I ruined the saw blade, which had to be replaced and cost me £15. Yesterday's rain caused a crust to appear on the onion bed, so this had to be hoed out, which was quite a tedious job really, but one that had to be done. A number of people have been complaining about misfiring of sowings, and I'm no exception. These I sowed on the 17th of April, the parsnips for chitting, and it's now the 5th of May and not a single one has come through. On the cabbages only half the tray has come through, on the greyhound cabbages, and on the golden globe 3 or 4 is all that's shown. So on the zebras that's a 60% success rate, and on the spring onions, the white Lisbon, that's a 75% success rate. So on Wednesday and Thursday, the next day, my target was to get the formwork in for the porch base, in between which I did some new sowings of cabbages and various other things. It's important that when you're doing formwork you get it right, and calculating the quantities is essential, because once you start concreting, if you run out of sand and cement, there's no going back, it's ruined. My wife does the baskets, but like most of the gardening, any heavy work, I tend to do it. It was an early start for the concreting, which we got completed at 11:30. and then 24 hours later I stripped the formwork and cleared away the rooster tip. Next day I planted out some more brassicas. I'm tending to do 6 at a time for succession, but these are actually cauliflowers. The sowings that I did a few weeks ago has come through, and surprisingly every one of the parsnips has fired. Not only do I do the heavy work on the baskets, but I also do the task of watering them in the morning. The most frequent question I'm asked is, where did I import the soil from, or how much soil have you imported? And the same people do actually ask me the same question again, and I have to say I haven't imported any. It's all from the side of the paths. But one thing that I've not explained, and probably not explained on YouTube, is that one phenomenon you get is bulking. When you excavate anything, the soil increases by 25%, and therefore when you fill up a bed, over a period of time it settles. Followers of Muddy Boots will of course recognise that this is his method of growing parsnips, which I've copied. Thanks, Muddy. The rain has brought out the clematis, which is a little bit later than normal. As a comparison, I looked at some of my old photographs just to see when the clematis has come out in the past. Wednesday morning, the 11th of May, it's raining, which is a good time to do some pricking out. Quote from Beech Grove Garden programme on BBC Two. I'm concerned with what goes in the baskets, the compost, in particular the John Innes. John Innes is a formula that has worked for decades. At the present time it's very fine, and in my opinion does not have a lot of fibre in it. It goes compact and does not let moisture drain through, and it sets. The answer is to go 50-50 with a very organic compost." Unquote. I managed to prick out half a dozen brassicas, and then the rain abated, and that gave me the opportunity to go back to the allotment and plant my broad beans. Friday I noticed that my cabbages had been eaten by slugs. So I said to the slugs, this ain't on, you know. I'm all for live and let live, but you're eating them all. So let's have a truce. Let's have a drink and let bygones be bygones. So we did, and 67 slugs turned up for the party, and just like the younger end, they couldn't take the drink. So I had 67 inebriated slugs that just passed away.